Hi everyone, happy holidays. If you haven't seen my previous video on this topic, it's only 4 minutes long, and there will be a link in the description. Now I'll talk about the holy nights as they relate to the zodiac, and I'll introduce a 13th secret holy night as well, which is the most important holy night, a holy night hidden within the 12. So holy night 1, the first one, relates to Aries, and I'll just show you. So Holy Night 1 relates to Aries and begins at sunset on December 24th. Each Holy Night begins at sunset, except the secret Holy Night, which is at midnight. So the first Holy Night, you want to meditate on love. Love is the meaning of life on earth. Take time to ponder the ways in which you express your love for yourself, your family, partners, community, humanity, and be open to visions of how you would like to expand this love into the next year. Holy Night 2 relates to Taurus. And Holy Night 2, you're going to meditate on discretion. We learn that there are times to hold our thoughts and feelings to ourselves, and there are times to choose to share them. Not everything positive or negative in experience needs to be shared. In silence, the flowering of discretion becomes an ever-deepening meditative force of contemplation. Be open to visions of how you would like to expand your ability to be still into the next year. And then next we will go over Holy Night 3. Just bear with me. And so Holy Night 3 relates to Gemini. And I'll just hold that there for a moment. If you want to pause it, you can pause it and look at that information. And on Holy Night 3, you want to meditate on courage. It takes courage to overcome our soul, resistance to change. It takes courage to create a future of goodness. Courage, the ability to take on actions and experiences that cause fear. The ability to overcome our resistance and our fears and bring more love. To be open to visions of how you would like to expand your ability to be courageous into the next year. And on Holy Night 4, it relates to Cancer. On Holy Night 4, you meditate to self-discipline. When we practice parenting our inner self, we find that we must bring a balance of love and acceptance for where we are in our evolution and the healthy push to become more self-disciplined. When we practice self-discipline in our thoughts, speech, and actions, this leads to deeper knowledge of ourself and others. Be open to visions of how you would like to expand your ability to be self-disciplined into the next year. Okay, and Holy Night 5 relates to Leo. On Holy Night 5, you meditate to patience. Patience is wisdom paired with power. When patience is practiced, it leads to the gift of spiritual insight. Be open to visions of how you would like to expand your ability to be patient into the next year. And, I just want to pause for a moment and say, if I can find my notes, my goodness. I pride myself on being organized. So Claudia McLaren Lanson, we're reading the little notes that she put there. And, she's an anthroposophist, mystic, and teacher. And, this stuff is stuff that Rudolf Steiner emphasized. She learned from Rudolf Steiner. So patience is another one that's extremely important. All of these are extremely important Rosicrucian exercises. And so on the sixth holy night relates to Virgo. And on the sixth holy night, you meditate to contentment. When we practice contentment, a feeling of peacefulness in any situation, it brings us the blessing of equanimity. Can I be content with the current moment, even if it is uncomfortable? Be open to visions of how you would like to expand your ability to be content into the next year. The seventh holy night relates to Libra. On the seventh holy night, you want to meditate to reverence. This is reverence that is honoring a courteous, tactful heart. This encourages the ability to communicate with kindness and love. To add to this pondering, this day also honors the spiritual nourishment and digestion that is taking place through this whole meditative process. We are digesting the year and nourishing our way forward. Be open to visions of how you would like to expand your ability to be reverent into the next year. These are all very, very powerful meditations, folks. The eighth holy night relates to Scorpio. On the eighth holy night, you want to meditate about compassion. Compassion asks us to hold the future of each person as positive and illuminated. Compassion leads to freedom as we harbor no ill will within us for another. Be open to visions of how you would like to expand your ability to be compassionate into the next year. Very powerful. Very powerful. So that's on the eighth holy night, December 31st, which is New Year's Eve, right? Next, we're going to talk about the secret night, the secret holy night. New Year's Eve, December 31st to dawn, New Year's Day, January 1st, is regarded as the 13th hidden holy night. When at the sacred moment of midnight, what we think is perceived by the highest hierarchies and has the power to be brought into reality. So, I know previously I said that the 13th hidden holy night is at midnight. I apologize. So it says there, I just read it. It starts, yeah, I got it right. Yeah, so it's at midnight, New Year's Eve, December 31st to dawn, New Year's Day, is regarded as the 13th holy night. So that's to clarify, that's the time frame for the holy night. And then it says the sacred moment of midnight. That's just the sacred moment. Okay. So, and then I wanted to add this as well about the 13th secret holy night. So Rudolf Steiner spoke about the 13th hidden holy night and said on New Year's Eve, our folk soul briefly releases us, and consequently, what we think is perceived by the highest hierarchies and has the power in it to be brought into reality. This is amazing, just amazing. So what that implies is a little bit disappointing on one hand, but amazing on the other hand. It implies that normally our thoughts and prayers only reach our folk soul, right? Or folk soul or folk spirit. But Steiner says that at this moment, this secret moment at midnight on New Year's Eve, our folk soul briefly releases us. And as a result, what we think, you don't even have to be intentionally trying to pray or reach these hierarchies. Whatever you happen to be doing at that moment is perceived by the highest hierarchy. My goodness, imagine people thinking horrible things or thinking the wrong things. The highest hierarchies are going to be aware of it. And so, pretty neat when you think about the 13th hidden or secret night. It's the most important night. And it's you want to meditate at least a little bit each of these nights or days on what we're talking about. And then the most important one for sure though is at that sacred moment that we just talked about at midnight on New Year's Eve. Now from the Rosicrucian Teachings what we're expected, what the hierarchies expect of us. They expect us to develop spiritually and grow spiritually so that we're in a better position to help other people. Our whole mission is to help other people, right? So if at that moment it would be smart to think about things that are along those lines, in my opinion, and we could really bring some healing to this world this year on Christmas Eve. Join me, folks, in this as we continue with Holy Night 9. It relates to Sagittarius, and on Holy Night 9, you want to meditate on empathy. And I know I skipped over that there. You could have paused on it if you wanted to read the stuff that was on that for Sagittarius. But that's this right here. You can just pause it if you want to, but I'm trying to move through this somewhat quickly. So on Holy Night 9, we'll meditate on empathy. Here we are reflecting on our capacity for empathy. When we practice selflessness, we are led to an inner awakening. And this is serious. People may think, oh no, that's nothing, nice guys finish last. Yeah, you have no idea. This is powerful stuff, and it really transforms your life. It's invisible. You can't stuff it in your mouth. It's not going to make you fat. So you got to believe in it, and it's powerful. Just because you can't stick it in your mouth and eat it doesn't mean it's not real. I say that stuff to atheists all the time. We feel the connection between ourself and the other, and we become more attuned and more sensitive. Be open to visions of how you would like to expand your ability to be empathetic into the next year. So that's what we'll meditate on for Holy Night 9. On Holy Night 10, it's going to relate to Capricorn. You can pause on that if you want to. On Holy Night 10, we're going to meditate on perseverance and the importance and power of perseverance. This is the virtue of perseverance to fulfill our soul's destiny, leading us to true faith. When we feel an inner calling and inner knowing that we have work to do upon this earth, we have the inner will and steadfastness to work ceaselessly throughout our lives. And you can read that, folks, if you want to. And this is all of this content is from myself and my research of the work of Rudolf Steiner, the Rosicrucian Teachings. And there's also the little note that you see there that I'm reading. That's from Claudia McLaren Lanson. And then I'll leave credit in the description as well. Another person who contributes to this work that I'm presenting tonight is Mary Stewart Adams. I showed you that little tiny clip a few minutes ago from her related to the secret holy night. I'll show it to you again just for a moment so you can see what I mean. And then we'll begin with night 11. So this was from Mary. Thank you, Mary. And we'll go to night 11. All this other stuff is though my own research. I've found these images and stuff. Also credit to the Anthroposophical Society. Here's Holy Night 11. It's going to relate to Aquarius, and on Holy Night 11, you'll meditate to inner balance. And so, as I was explaining, I'm going to continue reading these little notes by Claudia McLaren Lanson. Thank you, Claudia. But you can also interpret this and sort of decipher it and take it to mean, how, interpret it in a personal way, what it means personally for you as well. So, but this will meditate on inner balance. This is inner balance of soul, body, and spirit. So she's explaining what it means to her according to her understanding of the Rosicrucian teachings. And she's very smart. That's why I'm showing her notes. She's very, very in tune with Rudolf Steiner's work. And she says it also refers to the balance of our outer work with our inner life. When we find balance in these realms, this leads us to our soul's progression along our spiritual path. Be open to visions of how you would like to expand your ability to be inwardly balanced into the next year, she says. Next, on Holy Night 12, the last Holy Night is going to relate to Pisces. And on the final Holy Night, we'll meditate to devotion. We contemplate devotion that leads to self-sacrifice. When we devote ourselves to something greater than ourselves, we feel the power of self-sacrifice, and in this way we serve human evolution. Be open to visions of how you would like to expand your ability to feel devoted into the next year. Very powerful exercise. And you can see the angel Gabriel there, who is guiding and overseeing the birth of Jesus. And now, let's see what else I have for you. The cycle culminates with Epiphany, January 6th, when kings arrive to witness the sacred birth of Jesus, the spirit light of the world. And Mary Stewart Adams refers to the three magi or wise men as kings. So they were wise kings. Please click like or the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't. Have a safe and happy holiday season.